Good afternoon, students. The topic of today's lecture is job description. First of all, we will start with the definition of job description. It is a narrative that identifies a job title, a brief summary of the job, a description of essential job tasks and duties, and all or some of the following elements. This includes what, where, when, and how job tasks are done, what equipment, machines, or tools are used while performing that job. So, all these things come under job description. Minimum skills and qualifications required to perform the job, supervision and direction for the position, how the job interacts with customers, fellow workers, or others, job procedures related to the job, communication requirements, other information required to appropriately define the job. So all these things come under job description. Further, job description is a broad, general, and written statement of a specific job based on the findings of job analysis. It generally includes duties, purpose, responsibilities, scope, and working conditions of a job, along with the job's title and the name or designation of the person to whom the employee reports. Job description usually forms the basis of job specification. So, students, as we can see through this definition, job description is a broad statement and includes many things. How the job has to be performed, what is the job, when is it is to be performed, what will be the working conditions, various responsibilities, job titles, designation, and all these things are included in job description. So, in one line, I would like to tell you that it is a phenomenon of describing the total summary of the job. Why it is important? All employees like to know what is expected of them. Obviously, when a person is going to work for an organization at a particular position or is working for an organization at a particular position, he or she expects to know what company what wants from them and how they will be evaluated. Job descriptions can also be a great value to employers. So it has a great value for great importance for employers also. Creating a job description often results in a thought process that helps to determine how critical the job is, how this particular job relates to others, and identify the characteristics needed by a new employee filling the role. So it is important for employee as well as for employers. It makes them both understand what is expected out of them, what they have to do, and how they can be evaluated. A job description typically outlines the necessary skills, training, and education needed by a potential employee. So, this helps the employee to understand what kind of skills, what kind of various trainings, what kind of extra efforts he has to make for that job. It will spell out duties and responsibilities of the job. Once a job description is prepared, it can serve a basis for interviewing candidates, orienting a new employee, and finally in the evaluation of job performance. So, as we have discussed earlier, also that job description is helpful for employers also, right? Because whenever a new employee has to be hired for a particular job, if job description is prepared, then on basis of that interview can be conducted, then a new employee can be oriented on that basis, and ultimately his or her evaluation and appraisal can also be done on the basis of job description. Descriptions of job titles appear in a variety of forms in a workplace. Recruitment ads, compensation surveys, and other benchmarking tools, as well as corporate or departmental development plans, all use some method of describing a job. Moving further, now we will study various contents of job description. First is job identification, second is job summary, Third is job duties and responsibilities. Fourth is working conditions. Fifth is social environment. Sixth is machines, tools, and equipment. Seventh is supervision. And eighth is the relation to other jobs. So, first we will start with job identification. Job identification and organizational position, which includes job title, code number of the job, department or division where the job is located. This part of job description helps to identify and designate the job. So it is the first and foremost step, very important, and it helps the person who is being hired for the job or is to be hired for the job and even the management of the organization to be very much clear and clarify the facts related to job title, code number, department or division where the job is located. So it is very important, it avoids any kind of confusion. Second is job summary. It serves two important purposes. First, it provides a short definition which is useful as an additional identification information when a job title is not adequate. So it describes the job title. It lengthens the definition of that job title and it helps in understanding. Second is it serves as a summary to orient the reader towards an understanding of detailed information which is followed. It gives the reader a quick capsule explanation of content of a job, usually in one or two sentences. So it gives explanation about the job in one or two lines in a crux form and it helps in understanding the type of job he or she has to do in a much deeper way. Third is job duties and responsibilities. So it gives a comprehensive listing of the duties together with some identification of the frequency of occurrence or percentage of time devoted to each major duty. It is regarded as the heart of the job. So heart is the most important part of a human body, and even job duties and responsibilities are also heart of any job. And when duties and responsibilities are being clarified, are being outlined in job description, it gives a clear view to the person who is applying for the job that what he has to do when he gets into that job, and this helps in decision making and devotion of the person towards that job. Fourth is working condition. It usually gives us information about the environment in which a job holder must work. These include heat, cold, dust, noise level, moisture, fume. So all these are working conditions, all these are the part of environment in which a job is being done. And this clarification also helps the job holder to be very much clear about the environment in which he or she will work. And this gives a direction and this gives a mental setup to that person. And when that person is mentally ready to do that job, he or she gives his 100% and ultimately he grows in that job. Fifth is social environment. Size of work group and interpersonal interactions required to perform the job are given. Training and development facilities may also be mentioned. So, where that person has to do the job, how many more people would be there, what will be the size of work group, how would be, and what kind of interpersonal interactions would be there. So, all these things are mentioned in job description. Sixth is machines, tools, and equipment. The names of major machines, tools, and equipment materials are also described in job description. It gives a clear view to the job holder that yes, he or she will be working in those with those machines on those machines and how they can achieve that excellence level by going through some kind of trainings or learning new skill set to perform that job in a better way. Seventh is supervision. Under it is given the number of persons to be supervised, along with their job titles and extent of supervision. So, number of persons are mentioned in it, how they will be supervised, in what number they will be supervised, along with their job titles and extent of supervision. Eighth is relation to other jobs. The jobs immediately below and above are mentioned. So, your superiors as well as your subordinates are being mentioned over there with which you will be working. That would be chain of command, and it is very important to have cordial relations with those two categories. And it is always better to have information about them. This helps in maintaining that cordial relations. It provides an idea of vertical workflow and channels of promotion. It also indicates to whom the job holder will report and who will report to him. Now, how to write job description? There is no standard format, but most widely used formats contain the following sections. As we have discussed earlier, also job identification, job summary, responsibilities and duties, accountabilities, and job specifications. So first is job identification. It includes job title, job code, plant, department, division, and immediate supervisor's title is also mentioned. The most important element in this section is job title. Why? It should tell in a word or two what job consists of. It should indicate the job's specific field of activity, its relationship to that field, and its professional standing. It should be as brief as possible, and if it consists of more than one word, it should be in natural order. Example is given over here: computer operator, not operator, computer. So it that will make it easy in written as well as in spoken form. It should indicate skill level or supervisory level where valid distinctions exist. It should be similar or identical to one of the titles the job has had in the past, so employees and supervisors won't have to learn a completely new vocabulary. So it is very important for job title to be mentioned very briefly in one or two words. It helps the job holder as well as other people to identify that person and that job title. If some new things are happening, new hierarchies are being created, job title should be related to the old one so that no new uh, thoughts or no new ideas or no new things have to be learnt by the people already working over there. The next is job summary. It is second section of good job description format. It is a brief narrative picture of the job that highlights its general characteristics. The job summary should provide enough information to differentiate the major function and activities of the job from those of other jobs. So it is a brief summary about the job, what has to be done, what, when, where, how, and this helps in differentiating the particular job from other jobs. Since brevity, accuracy, and objectivity are primary goals in job summary, it is wise to follow these basic steps. First is start the job summary with an action verb. Second is explain the job's requirements. In other words, tell what is done, what, when, how, where. So all these things have to be included. If necessary, explain the why or how of the job and its purpose. If it is necessary or helpful to do so, use an example also. Then comes responsibilities and duties. It is regarded as the heart of job description as we have discussed earlier. Also, these are very important to be mentioned. And duties and responsibilities, if are mentioned in a very clear manner, this helps the organization as well as the employee who is applying for the job to differentiate that job from other job, and they can work towards a single direction with full heart, with wholeheartedness. Then accountabilities. Once the job objectives have been made clear, responsibility and duties have been defined, the incumbent is accountable to his or her superior, because answerability, accountability is very important for a person to work in a particular direction with full sincerity. If this happens, if accountability is there, the person will be serious towards his or her job. The section of accountability not only describes the end results achieved when the job duties are performed satisfactorily, but also mentions specific standards for measuring performance. It is therefore particularly useful when preparing for performance appraisal. Next is job specifications. As stated earlier, the personal qualifications an individual must possess in order to perform the duties and responsibilities contained in a specific job description are compiled in job specification. Specification basically covers two areas, that is skills required to perform the job, the physical demands the job places on the employee performing it. So students, in this lecture we have studied the introductory part of job description. What are the things which are being included in job description, how they should be explained in proper manner, and how their explanation plays a very important role in overall success of recruitment, selection, training, development, and other human resource management processes and procedures. And when an employee is expected to give his wholeheartedness towards the job, all these things have to be clarified in a very nice manner. So, this was all with the lecture. If you have any doubt, you are most welcome to ask me. Thank you very much.